All right, I think I am live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome to a special Friday session where I come back on to finish out all the readings I did not complete in the earlier session. So, if you look in the description box of the video down below, you'll see the list of the order in which I'm going to complete. I'll start off with donations. I still have, let's see, 5, 6, 7, about 9 or 10 donations. Those take a little longer. We do dive into those deeper. And then we'll start on the free readings for my YouTube channel members. And then we'll jump into the other free readings for my non YouTube monthly channel members. And once I'm finished, I will post a pinned comment listing all of the readings and the timestamp. So you can click on your timestamp and go directly to your reading. That'll be once I'm done with the stream, not as we're going along here. You notice there's no chat because I'm not taking any new questions. This is only completing all of the readings from the earlier session. I'll be back tomorrow morning and Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time if you want to join me for more questions then, of course. But I think that's everything. So let's jump back in. I'm going to continue to use, grabbing all these cards here. This beautiful Lost Soul Tarot is what we'll be using here for the readings this evening. And use a shuffle here. All right. So let us dive in. So we'll start off here with CultureNV. We've got ×3 for you. They came at different times. I'm just going to do them all together so you have one timestamp. We'll cover all three together. Well, one after one another, not all together. So we'll start there. All right. So CultureNV, thank you for your multiple donations. I'm so grateful. And you want to know, what is the energy if you apply for a marketing position at your current company? All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies, what does that energy look like? All right. So we do have that one, and then that one, and this one, and then this one, and then this one, then this one, and those underneath. Okay. What do we have here? All right. I feel like these are 3, and then 3, and then these 3 underneath. Okay. Well, and then all that adds up to 9. You have the 9 of Wands here. Excuse me. And the 9 of Wands energy. 9 of Wands is like, it's perseverance, but there's also like it's like there's this barrier that's holding you back with the Wands, the 9 of Wands. And it is an energy of, but it's you you're the only one that can hold yourself back from moving into a position like that. We'll get more details on, because I feel like there's these 3 together, and then there's 3 cards, and then there's 3 cards underneath. And I feel like these will reveal the steps of getting into that position and what the result is, what they want you to know. So let's look at it. The first group of 3, you have the High Priestess, which is a revealer of unknown things in a way. Page of Wands. Yeah, so here's the 9 of Wands. The Page of Wands is the energy, and the Temperance, a little bit of time. So I feel like what Spirit is recommending here, sorry, they were giving me a bunch of stuff all at once. I'm like, hold on. So the High Priestess is finding out information. So applying for a marketing position, I feel like if you go talk to someone that's over in marketing, like a marketing supervisor, or whoever's in charge, or someone that is a lead, or someone that holds awareness around it. And I feel like going to make sure, like, what are the requirements and what kind of job, can I shadow? Can I meet with you just to kind of find out what your group does, and or if you already know what marketing is about, and it's about going and just kind of doing a pre-meeting, because this is what this High Priest is showing me, is going to investigate, getting the skinny, getting the behind the scenes, revealing what the job is really like, what it's about, what it involves. Because the temperance is the over timing kind of energy that, with the page of wands, this is about you putting in energy and action around it and almost kind of like building a foundation towards marketing over there. But I feel like it's important to do the foundational kind of work first before applying, just to show that you are not jumping into something that you don't know what it's about. Because I feel like that will go a long way with it if that resonates there for you. And that will also help you see that, oh yeah, this is a job I can do, and I have this and this and this, and it'll help you prepare for an interview because you're understanding what they're looking for more, and then you can prepare for your interview and for applying for that area. You also have the hanged man. There's this transformational energy here, seeing things from a different perspective, but it's transformational. You do have the empress, which again is abundance. It is about um, growth, but also following your heart. Four of Wands is joy, joy, celebration, focusing on your joy, focusing on your heart. And we'll see what the underlying energy with these other three are, but I kind of feel like this is kind of saying you've been transforming in your life. The things that you wanted before, like a caterpillar likes leaves, but when it turns into a butterfly, it doesn't hate, but it is not drawn to eat leaves. It wants nectar and it flies like almost like a bee. It goes from and it goes to flowers and it grabs it and it actually kind of the pollen sticks to the butterfly, and as it goes, it helps cross pollinate flowers too. But it seeks nectar and it creates this creative energy. And if the marketing, if you feel like this is something that could help you with your creative energy, then consider that. If not, what brings you joy? What would allow you to create from your heart? And, evaluate and see if this is something that you're doing because your mind thinks, yeah, this is what it can do, or is it something that your heart really wants to do, or is there something else? Let's see what's below the surface here, too. And we have the King of Cups, the balance between the head and the heart. So, is there something different out there that would just be like, oh my gosh, and I feel like if you go check it out, you might be like, "Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of that." It's not like I thought it was going to be something more exciting, but you realize, well, maybe that's what you find out, or maybe you find out "Oh, this is what my mind and my heart would both love. But the King of Cups being underlying energy is a balance between heart and head, and is there something that can make both of them happy instead of just the mind, right? You have the King of Swords, yeah. The Master of the Mind. So you got the King of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like with the King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, you could be successful at anything you put your mind to, right? And when you want to do something, you can make it happen, but it's how long is your heart going to be in it? Because you can task the hell out of things, right? You can I can get stuff done, just get out of my way. I can organize. I can be successful at anything I put my mind to it. Doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy it, but I can be successful at it. And that's what it's saying here. And I feel like this is the energy is go to check it out first because I kind of have this feeling. We'll see what your fortune cookie says too, but I have this feeling that it's like your head is all about, yeah, marketing would be good and da 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 da. It's good money. It's good opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And the heart's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, whatever." The heart's saying, no, 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 no. Sorry, I have to use it at least once a session. So let's take a look here and see what your fortune cookie says here. Surrender, procrastination. Look at one step at a time. Let's see what this says. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And I feel like with this energy is determining what goal it is. You are ready for something new, but is this something that makes your heart sing? And something to look into. So hopefully that helps with that one. So thank you for your first donation. I appreciate that. And then for number 2, thank you for this one as well. Will your status and quality of life improve with the cosmetic upgrades that you're thinking of? All right, let's take a look here. All right, let's take a look. So, based on current energies, would these cosmetic upgrades that you're thinking of, oops, I think I put cards in all in different ways. Let me correct. Here's that corrective surgery, right? It's like, does it matter that half the cards are face up and half the cards are face down? Not really. The message is going to come through the same, right? But it's all about Brenda Zen's OCD. It's about my thoughts, my beliefs, my mindsets, not about reality, right? I think there's a message in that in itself, right? Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. So, will your status and quality of life improve? Whoa, okay. Cards came flying out here. We'll look at that. We'll look at this. And what else do they want you to know around this? Anything else that's important for you to know? And I want that. And I did want these two here too. Okay. All right. Let's just get all these situated here. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles underneath here. This is it's a card of codependency awareness or overgiving energy here. That's the underlying energy. And we'll take a look here because the Six of Pentacles, it does take us back to this energy of an out of balance. Like when we're 7 years old and younger, we kind of learn that, oh, I have to give 1,000 love coins to get 1 love coin back, because usually, like, parents or people that are in authority, they're so busy, they only have so much to give, and they don't have enough to give to a child, to equal what it feels like it's giving and what it should be receiving, right? So we develop this way out of balance. I have to give so much to get so little in life is one of the things we learn during that time, and it impacts us through school and through, like, I have to do so much to get so little back, and then friendships and family, and then work and relationships and all these different things. And so this underlying energy about all of this, the status and quality of life improving, this is about, it starts from the inside, and it starts with the equaling the balance out instead of feeling we have to give so much to get so little. There's some release and transformation we can do to bring it down 1 to 1 instead of 1 to 1,000. It has to do with forgiveness and thinking about those individuals and knowing they did the best they could with what they had at the time, and we release them, and we tell our little we you know, it's because it's that out of balanceness we learn 7 years on younger, because children, we don't know any better. We think, "Oh, that's fair." Then it seeps down to our subconscious, and it's running on autopilot down there till we bring it back into our consciousness and tell our little inner child, "No, that 1 to 1,000 is actually not fair. Let's bring that down to 1 to 1." You know, we should be able to give and receive equally. We don't have to give so much to receive so little. We give and receive. We're worthy of receiving that. So it does have to do with some inner transformation around worth, is in the undercore underneath there. Take that as you will. Um, but to your question, will your status and quality of life improve? We have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is on the quest for the Holy Grail, self love, and the Page of Cups. So you have both the Knight and the Page of Cups. This does have to do with self love. And I feel like, and it makes sense that, when we're wanting to do cosmetic upgrades, that if they're not like health wise, like getting something corrected so we can breathe or something like that. It comes down to our self-love, and it's so again, this inner job is first before doing any external things, because no matter what we do on the outside, if the inside doesn't change, then that doesn't change thing. It's like no matter what mirror we look in, if our self-love doesn't change, then what we see in the mirror doesn't change either. And I feel like that's an important energy around that. Let's see what else we have here. You have the 10 of cups. We do have some joy in the 4 of swords, this peace of mind. And I feel like they're saying here, that it would be temporary. The 4 of swords is it puts our mind at ease, because if there's something that we've been thinking we need to be to bring us this joy, that our mind feels, because it's a thought and belief up here. um, there's something of a belief that was created because of emotional things of the past that created this thought, right? And when we look at this energy, the mind is relieved for a moment. Like, let's say, I feel like my nose is too big. Our family, we have larger noses. um and if I had this all my life thinking I need to change this, once I did, for a moment my mind would go, okay, good, we've got that, we're going to be happier now. But then I don't have, the happiness doesn't match the expectation that it would change. And I'm like, "Oh, why didn't that work?" Because it wasn't, our emotions don't happen out here, our emotions happen in here. Happiness is in here. And we're taught, of course, that external things make us happy, but they don't. They just make it easier choice to choose happiness or not on the inside. But if we're not happy on the inside, then an external change won't make us any more, you know, happier or not, right? Let's see what else is coming in here. Kind of feel like we're leaning towards your status and quality of life doesn't change with cosmetic upgrades, because it's our energy, right? These three cards came out together. You have the moon card, which is a lot of hidden emotion, things below the surface, that can be brought up, that can help. Yeah, the two of swords, the battle between the head and the heart, and the eight of wands, which is about passion, but it's messages of spirit and a lot of energy, a lot of energy. And I feel like here, when we're talking about like, I was talking about before about, it's really what we draw into our lives isn't about our physical. It's more about our energetic, emotional, and mental. All that inner energy is what either draws things to us or repels things to us. So our status and quality of life, yeah, there's some really gorgeous people in life that we think, oh, it's because of that they're getting all these opportunities and this and that, and or whatever changes we make. And then sometimes we meet really, we think, beautiful people, and they open their mouth and they're arrogant or they're stupid, and as far as they're, you know, talking bad about people and rah, 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 and you're just like, wow, your attractive level just dropped in half, because it's our energy, and there's some people that maybe aren't the most, if you're looking at like Hollywood and beautiful people, but there's some people that their hearts are so amazing that they're so much more beautiful because of that. And I know that, we've heard all that before, but I feel like it's important to bring that up and really put it into perspective, that it's our energy that attracts things to us, either lower vibration or higher vibration. And if we change our outside but we don't change our inside, it's not going to change a whole lot of what's going on the outside. So I feel like it'd be better, like the energy better or more productively spent, if you're looking at your quality of life and your status in life, that it's the inner that changes, that will change your life. Yep, Six of Cups. So childhood energy, like with this Six of Pentacles coming in, the Ten of Pentacles. What does success? this external focus of the outside world and the Page of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles moving to the Page of Pentacles, which is like the 11. And this is about seeing your self-worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way with the page. So I love that it ends that way because I feel like those changes wouldn't make a difference in our quality of life to meet the expectations and the effort that it would take for all of it to happen. That to try first altering the inner and then see how that changes the status and quality of life instead. Because I feel like you will be like, holy crap. So hopefully that helps. Let's get you a fortune cookie for that one as well. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this is the one I want here. You got surrender to spirit. And it says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. The magician, the wherever you focus your energy is what what draws things to us, right? But we can surrender all of that to spirit and see what they'll bring. But I feel like that's what they want you to know for that one. And then for your third one, you're like, this is my last one, which, you can ask as many questions as you want for donations. Everyone gets one free question per session, but you can ask as many as you want when you guys are donating. So never feel like you're like, well, that's my last one. If you have it on your mind and you want to make a donation for it, feel free. All right. So you want to know, do you have the energy to pick up a second part-time job? Oh my gosh. Let's take a look here. So culture envy. A second part-time job. Let's see here. What do they want you to know about this here? Yeah, I like it. The moon. Sometimes moon cycles. Around a full moon, you might, because you have so much energy, but then it wanes, waning energy. So I feel like that's an important realization. But let's take a look here, see what else they have here. Got the Eight of Swords along with the Ten of Cups. Joy, 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 and celebration. And the Eight of Swords, which is about becoming aware of our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that blind us, make us feel trapped and restricted. And what truly brings us joy. I feel like they're saying that instead of picking up a second part-time job, kind of look at what are the things that I think I need that maybe I don't. What are the things that bring me joy and the things that don't? Because I feel like with all these swords, you can cut things out of your life that aren't serving a purpose that we've been thinking I'm supposed to have this and that and this and that and this and da da da. But I can downsize and get rid of things and cut certain spendings and different things out of my life that don't serve me anymore. And then I don't need a second part time job if that's what it's for, is to have more income. Because I feel like with a change of thought and belief and mindset, that you'll have this joy that you won't need a second part time job. Yeah, because you have the magician, and the magician here, and this goes back, and I'm glad we're talking about this because we talked about the magician. I see why now they were like, just go on to this the next reading. We're going to talk about the magic and magician energy anyway, because and we talk about this right where if I'm focusing on what I'm grateful for in this moment and what I'm grateful for I have had, so what I'm grateful for things I have and what I have had, then I'm opening the floodgates and abundance rolls in. If I'm focusing on want and need, that's because I feel like something's lacking in my life. Something's missing because I want more or I need more. And that lack energy actually, when I'm focusing in on that, it actually repels things out of my life instead of allowing things to come in. So it works the opposite of what we're striving for. And I mentioned this before, so if I mentioned this and to you, I apologize, but it's a good story. It's actually the reality of my life. When I was in corporate life, I would try to work 4 times as much to get the promotions, get the raises, um, get the bonuses, right? And I felt like I was putting in 4 times the effort, and I'd get a meets expectations, none of that stuff. And then I would just release it all and go, "Fine, I'm just going to enjoy the job, enjoy what I'm doing, enjoy my peers, and I'm making good money. I'm grateful for what I have. I have enough. I have more than enough. I'm just gonna focus on enjoying the moment." And when I did, I'd get the raises, I'd get the promotions, I'd get the bonuses for doing a fourth of the work, and I never understood what the hell is all that about. But it is because it was want and need and drive pushed it away. Gratitude for what I have and have had is what opened up the floodgates and allowed stuff to come to me easily instead. And so I feel like that's important to know with the magician card here is instead of trying to fix things in the external, it's like, let me go inward and let me change my energy. Because the more I focus on higher vibrational energy, like unconditional love and gratitude and play and joy and laughter and peace, that stuff is what draws in. When I focus on lower vibrational things like frustration and fear and stress and what I hate and what I want and need, all that stuff draws in more want, more need, and the things I fear and the things I hate. And so there's an opportunity to change with that magician energy. Your energy is what creates in your life. And so instead of creating stuff in the outside world, create it in here first and then see what you draw to you. Underneath that, you do have the 4 of Pentacles. You can have a solid foundation in your finances underneath that, and the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, there's a lot of different emotional choices that come along with this. Let's see what this other card is here too, and the 8 of Wands. Here's that energy you had in the last reading. It does spark this energy and this movement of change, but the 7 of Cups is really understanding the emotions. And part of the it feels like you have a emotional confusion, and the emotional confusion comes when we're in fear, right? Because when our little inner child feels unsafe or out of control, whoop, whoop, it sounds alarms, knocks out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side. We have all this flurry of all these emotions. We just feel like we need to hiss and attack or hiss and run away. And I like this stepping into your power and going, all right, where am I focusing my energy? One of the things I did to help me get out of that um, cycle that I was in, I used my cell phone. Well, one, I did a gratitude journal where for 30 days, I said each day I'll write something every day that I'm grateful for and not repeat it. And then I'll see where I'm at in 30 days. And in 30 days, I was like, oh my God, the amount of change that brought because the intention was to find gratitude. Just doing it once a day after 30 days, I was like, "This is changing me. I'm gonna continue to do this." I ended up doing it for 5 months because I just said, "I'm just gonna do it till I'm bored with it or I run out of things to be grateful for." And it was neither, because I didn't run out of things to be grateful for. The more I was focusing on what I was grateful for, one, I realized there's so many things to be grateful for in our lives right now. And the more I was grateful, the more things to be grateful for that came in. And the reason I stopped is because it started to just be like gratitude was my new way of thinking because I'd done it for so long. And whenever I'm wanting to change, I use my cell phone too. I'll put a silent vibrating alarm for every hour, like gratitude. Come back to gratitude because we're taught to focus on all that other what we need, what we want, and the things we fear. But when we really look at um, changing all of that, um, in order to change a habit, it's repetition. We learned all that through repetition. To change it, we learned through repetition. So we get drawn out into the old way of thinking, and this alarm draws me back. It's a silent vibrating, so it doesn't irritate anyone else. It gets my attention, brings me back, and then I would slip back into that other window. Alarm would go off, I'd come back, but the amount of time it took for me to slip back in there started to become a longer and longer time period where I didn't need the alarm every hour. It was every 2 hours and then every 3 hours. And then you can wean yourself off of it when our habit changes. So hopefully that helps with all of that. I know that's a long-winded no, right? It's like, do I have energy to have a second part-time job?
No, no, no. 1,000 times no.
So there you go. I love it. And then let's get you a fortune cookie too. Oh, I just love Spirit. They're so funny. Let's see what else we have here. So what else about this second part-time job? All right. So your fortune cookie says surrender to silence. Says in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So it is about coming within, right? They're pointing you inward instead of trying to solve things outward because we don't change from the outside in, we change from the inside out. So I didn't mean to hit my microphone. All right. So that is what they have for you at Culture Envy. Thank you again for your multiple donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Brenda Tejada, you are up next. Thank you for your donation. And you wanted to know love and money for tonight and tomorrow. All right. Let me just take a quick sip here. All right. So love and money for tonight and for tomorrow. And those underlying energies. All right. Underlying energy here, you have 3 of Cups energy coming in here. And this for tonight and tomorrow feels like a focus on group and community. Sorry, let me scooch here. I'm falling off my chair. and and what I mean by this for love and abundance, it just feels like the underlying energy is about joy in the moment, joy with friends, with family, whatever this feeling of community and like your tribe and hanging with your tribe. I feel like that's the focus they have here is taking all of that energy and focusing it in on those people today and tomorrow. But we'll see what else they have. But I feel like that's the underlying energy. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So finances for, money, you have abundance energy coming in here this evening. And the Queen of Wands around love. Again, there's this realizing what I do have. The Queen of Wands, she holds the Ace of Wands, reminds me of the Magician card, which talks about where am I focusing my energy? And I feel like this is the biggest thing is focus on joy, focus on gratitude for what you do have, for the love that is in your life, what you have had in your life. I feel like for tonight, they're like, check in with the energy. Where am I focusing my energy? What am I growing? Am I growing lack? Because I feel like I'm wanting or needing that there's emptiness. And if I'm focusing on the emptiness, which is what's igniting my thought that I need more and that I want more, then that actually pushes it away instead of drawing it toward me through gratitude for what I do have and what I have had. And I feel like there's that energy. Let me focus on the love that is in my life right now. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be family and friends and the love that and then what I have loved about relationships and my abundance, what I have now and in the past. So I feel like a big piece of this with the Queen of Wands is realizing your energy is what repels or draws it to you. And so you own the energy and the powers in your hands. For tomorrow, for money and love, tomorrow for money, you have the Queen of Pentacles. You roll over it. You have this possibility for abundance. Again, if we focus in on that, I am abundant right now, and where am I abundant in my life, and really see it, look at the abundance you have had, and just sincere gratitude when you picture it, when you feel it and then you have gratitude for it, it really draws in this to where you can really believe and go, I'm so grateful that finances and abundance for what I have, and that, abundance does flow easily and effortlessly to me. And when you have gratitude for that and just trust and surrender it to the creator, that's where this abundance comes flowing in here for you. For love, again, Ace of Wands. So it's basically the same message twice. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. And you had both the queens and then the aces. You can't make that up. They're like, this is how it works. Let's see what the underlying energies are underneath here for you too. You have the Five of Swords, which is the battle between the head and the heart. And this is what happens, right? Our head is taught, well, this is how things are supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be. And when you focus in on that, that's what takes us into expectations. Expectations equal lack and falling short, which draws in more lack, right? When we focus in on our heart and gratitude, that's the difference, right? The battle between these rules and living and loving the moment, right? Fear of the future based on reflections of the past and not in the moment, but really sitting in the moment going, I'm so grateful that in this moment I have everything that I need right here, right now, right? Let's see what else we have. Six of Wands, victory and movement, which comes from balancing your energy with the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, so it's all this Wands energy, really realizing a reminder of joy, 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 and celebration with the Three of Cups and gratitude, but that you hold the power um, in regards to all this. And I feel like they're saying, you know, um, come back out of the want and need and come back into the gratitude, and you'll see big changes that will come in with this. But they're like, this is the focus because they gave it to you twice for today and for tomorrow. Queen and ace and queen and ace. You hold the power. You hold the power. Let's see what else you get here with your fortune cookie. I know, I know. Let's take a look here. All right. It's this one right here. Yep. Surrender low self esteem. And it says, you deserve success, love, and abundance. Hello. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. And that's the low vibration. And I feel like that's what they're more pointing it toward is, which goes back to um, if I'm grateful to the creator, believing that I deserve abundance. And I'm so grateful because look at the abundance I have and the abundance I have had. And I'm so grateful for that. And I know that abundance flows to me. I'm always going to have exactly what I need in each moment. And it's about building that trust with the creator as well. So hopefully that um, makes sense right now. I know we probably wanted more, but that's what they have for us right now. All right. So thank you again so much, Brenda, for your donation. Many blessings. Hang in there. All right. And then Miss K, you are up for two. So thank you for your dual donations. So let's jump in here. Let's get these cards refreshed. Let me take another sip here. I'm drinking this tea, but there's lemons in there. And the seeds are at the bottom. I have to be careful because I drank it earlier and I almost inhaled two seeds. Don't want to be choking and dying here on live, All right. So for your first one, Miss K, thank you for that donation. How does your Taurus friend feel about you currently? Is he angry with you? What did you do? What did you do? Let's see. So what does your Taurus friend feel about you currently? Right. Right. So got those. Excuse me. And then is he angry with you? What's this one here? These I need to go back in here. So there's some cards that are mixed up here. Nope, I think we're good. So those two cards, you did have the King of Cups and the High Priestess were the only two cards that were in different position in here. And the High Priestess is, you know, she's very intuitive, but she goes away and steps back to connect higher, to dive deep into their own emotions, to really reveal things and look at what's going on in them. King of Cups is balancing between head and heart. So I feel like they're pulled back, just really trying to figure out what's going on inside of them with that energy. Bottom of the deck right here, we've got the Five of Cups, which is transformation of emotion. So I do feel like there's something going on with them. And we'll find out more here with these other cards just to see about how they feel about you currently. But I feel like, especially they're bringing in the Sagittarius full moon. And we had, so Sagittarius is, of course, ruled by Jupiter, which is expansion, fire energy, and moon energy. When that combines, it's already emotional, it's already big, it just amplifies emotional expansion anyway. And of course, taurines are ruled by Venus, which rules over love, not all emotion, but love. And then Jupiter itself, the planet, moved into Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, which is expansive. So it's this huge expanse of emotional energy that happened this week. So if anything kind of flared up, there is, a lot of emotional movement that's going on with this Five of Cups. So just like the underlying kind of environment that's been going on, there was a lot of emotional energy this week. Obviously, you saw all the stuff going on in the world. We're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, yeah, that's emotion, expansion of emotion at work. Now, how does he feel about you currently? We do have the Seven of Swords here. We do have the moon card. And so here's the moon energy I was talking about. So there is this conflicting energy with the moon and the Queen of Pentacles. So they still see you as this nurturing individual. But there is something here with the Seven of Swords and the moon card, because the Seven of Swords is like when we have conflicting thoughts and beliefs, and it makes us um, conflicted, but it's like feeling like something's being stolen out of my life. It's the thievery called the betrayal card, but it's doesn't necessarily mean that that's how they feel about you. It's especially with all this reflective energy you got with that Queen of Swords. It's like, what is my problem? Why did I get upset? Or why do I have all this energy? I know who you are with this Queen of Pentacles. You're a very nurturing, giving, loving, big-hearted person. Where's all this stuff coming from? And I feel like that they're owning that with that High Priestess and the Knight, I mean, sorry, the King of Cups, trying to balance their heart and their mind. They're like, what's this stuff coming in here? Let's see what's below the surface here too. You got the Hanged Man, so this is hanging upside down, trying to see things from a different perspective. Cocooning, like we talked about. And the Knight of Wands. Yep. This is this um the bull, yeah, the Taurus bull sees red and charges, and then they think about it afterwards and go, "Oh man, why did I react that way?" So I feel like there is some sort of fiery, reflective energy here. But ultimately, with Mother Moon and the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, I still feel like how they feel about you currently. They still see you as this very huge emotional source of nurturing energy here. But I feel like there's something that hit them that has them conflicted, and that's why they're in this kind of pulled back, reflective kind of energy. Are they angry with you? Four of Pentacles, solid foundation in the outside world. They feel pretty solid. Ace of Wands. I feel like that with this Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands. This is fiery energy. So I don't feel like they're angry with you. I just feel like they just sparked like a frying pan. Heats up fast, cools off quick, and then goes, "Oh darn, I burned someone, didn't I?" And so I feel like they're used to having a little bit of a reactive temper sometimes. Um, so I feel like they're kind of in that, recovery kind of energy with all that. But I don't feel like they're angry. I feel like they, you know, something inside of them felt unsafe and out of control, and then they sparked. They went into cat mode, hissed and attack, or hissed and ran away, or attacked and then ran away like a cat, right? And then they realized, oh man, afterwards. And so I feel like they're, kind of just trying to figure out, why do I keep doing this? Because that you're not the only person that they do that to. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, surrender to success. And this is like this mirror here too, this mirror here in the middle, which is like, when we realize that when someone's angry with us or toward us, it's really because they're angry with themselves, right? That we're all mirrors reflecting back. So I feel like, you can ask yourself, how do you feel about yourself currently? Are you angry with yourself? And are you angry with them? And how do you feel about them? Because it's this mirror that helps you understand yourself, right? And things, when conflict comes up of any kind, it's for us so that we can see things to set ourselves free from, right? It says you're ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. So that's your fortune cookie for that. And then thank you for your second donation too. You want to know, what do we see coming in for love for this summer for you? All right, let's shuffle these one more time here. What is coming for love in all those? All right, and then this one here. All righty. Okay, let's move these over, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with one underneath. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Three of Cups. For love, the Three of Cups is more groups and joy and like finding one or two besties. It's like a prerequisite for finding other love in the future. And it's like finding individuals that are like like in this case, like Three Cups, it's like three of you, peas in a pod, where you get one another, you make each other laugh, you keep each other accountable out of love, and it's like people you can talk to. They're like sisters from different misters, brothers from different mothers, right? It's like you guys just feel like you're like, wow, it's not doesn't have to be blood relatives or anything. It's like you create this little small group of like the three of you, but you keep each other accountable for relationships, like where um they're like, have you started dating someone? They're like, yeah, how'd you know? Because you're shrinking. Oh no, because it's like, if in the past, whenever I'd meet someone, I would tend to shrink myself and dim my light. They're like, you're dimming your light. And you're like, oh no. And they're like, but we love you. And that's why we're here for you. And we're not going to let you dim your light because we love your light. And it's that kind of support that I feel like is coming in here for summer. That's the beginning. It's the important thing. So rather than finding like love one on one, this is like finding a long lasting love, a friendship love of, I think, and it feels like two other people, like there's three of you, that this would be like you guys are friends forever. Boyfriends, girlfriends, they come and go, but these friends are forever, right? Let's see what else around this here. Yeah. So new awareness with this Ace of Swords. And the Seven of Wands is about being true to your authentic self. And this is all about not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine, not defending who you are. And so this is this clarity that comes in here first for yourself before love hits. And that's why I feel like these Three of Cups, it's this group, the three of you that help each other with that. You do have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is an energy of past life connections. And I do feel like you're going to meet these other two people and they feel like you've known them forever. That it's just like you're going to become so familiar that you guys know that you've had many lifetimes together because you guys just bond quickly. And it's just this draw that comes in. I do feel like you meet them separately, like you don't meet them at the same time. Um, but I do feel like that's what's coming in here for the summer for you, at least in the beginning. Let's see what comes in here with these other cards. You've got here the Devil card is the underlying energy. Shaking and rattling. The Devil card is Capricorn, Saturn, and they do shake and bring up and challenge our long held beliefs, our supposed to be's, our should be's, our need to be's. Since we're talking about love, feels like the summer is about challenging what we thought is supposed to happen, should happen, need to happen, and letting go a lot of our roles around love and our expectations around love. I feel like this is the summer of freedom when it comes to old mindsets, when that's the underlying energy. You have the Five of Swords, yeah, the battle between the head and the heart. The heart is tired of having the mind bully it, trying to control it, having embarrass it by having a what are those called? Like the little toddlers wear those little harnesses. The mind has a harness on the heart. Nope, nope, you can't do that. And the heart is saying, I'm not a little circus monkey, like the little, the guy that does a little crank and the monkey goes out and gathers stuff. I'm not that. Let me go. I want to be free. So your heart is the summer is tired of being ruled by the old mindsets and by the mind bullying it and trying to control it and trying to keep it. The heart wants to be the heart. In this battle, this Five of Swords, especially with the Devil card, is the shaking up of all these beliefs because the heart is having rebellion against the mind. The Empress is ready to be free. She does flow in life because the Empress comes before the Emperor and the Hierophant. The Empress runs free. It's like she runs naked through the forest. Screw all the rules, right? All in alignment with what we've been talking about. Because the Emperor comes next, which is like societal rules, and then the Hierophant comes next, which is all like the religious and spiritual rules and rules. But the Queen is before all that. I mean, the Empress. So she's like, I don't want to worry about all that stuff. And so there's this freedom energy. And again, the it's a lot of emotion energy, a lot of heart energy because the Empress rules over all four queens. Each queen gets this Ace of Cups behind it, and with the Queen of Cups having two, she's five parts emotion, one part fire, one part earth, one part air. So again, all of this, the heart is like waging war against the mind, and it wants to be free. Yep, the Two of Swords. This is again like the Five of Swords, the battle between the head and the heart. The Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Here's that energy we were talking about earlier. And the Full card, yeah. Full card is the beginning, it's the zero card, right? It follows the World card, which is the last card in the Major Arcana, which is the end of old cycles, the whole beginning of a new adventure. Zero expectations. The Full is like an adventure without any rules. It's just going to go with the flow. It wants to just, again, all of these cards are representing a summer of love that is without restriction, without rules and exploration, letting the heart explore and experience and not having the mind be the party pooper and go in and tell it. um, what it's supposed to do, what it should do. So it's this really wonderful, freer feeling energy that's possible. And I feel like that Three of Cups, that little group of the other two people, are what help with that too. So it's exciting, um, and probably a little unknown and scary, but there comes a time in our life when the ugly feeling of not allowing our heart to be expressed outweighs our fears and says we're having a rebellion and that's what's going on. Yeah, and surrender the habit of people pleasing. That's all those supposed to be, should be's, need to be's. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. That's a summer to be remembered, right? All right, Miss K. Hopefully that helps. Thank you again for your donation, and many blessings to you. All right. Let me bring these others up here. All right, and then we have Raisin. You are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, Raisin, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And you want to have guidance on whether taking a year out is best to prepare. All right. So, like taking a year off to prepare. All right. So, based on current energies, um, you know, what we'll do here, because when we're asking like opinion of spirit, spirit doesn't have an opinion as far as what's best, good, bad, best, worst. They don't see it that way. It's amazing when you connect with spirit. As through as many readings as I've done over the years, it's like they're just like, no, no, no. There's not right decisions and wrong decisions, just different decisions with different outcomes. So what we'll do here is we'll pull two little sets of cards. One, if you take a year off, what energy comes with that? And then what if you don't? And then you can see what energy you resonate with and what you feel is where you want to, what resonates for your path, right? So if you take off a year, all right, thank you. All right, those. And then if you don't, let's take a look here. If you don't, you have this and this and this and these. All right. Yeah. Like the energy in the bottom of the card is the King of Cups. Balance between your head and your heart. Because your head will say it wants one thing and your heart wants a different one. And, uh, I often will tell friends when they're having trouble making a decision, I go, close your eyes, open your heart. What do you feel? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And like, well, that's my answer. And you're like, yep, there you go. And that's a lot of what it takes is getting out of here by closing our eyes and allowing our heart to have a say so, because our mind is always blah, 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 blah. It always has its 2 cents. It's always given us. Very rarely are we taught to listen to our heart, and that can help with that too. But that's what the King of Cups, balance your head and your heart, because the king rules over the heart and cups, but all the kings are given a second portion of the mind. That's where the balance comes in. All right. So if you choose to take off a year, what energy comes in? Well, look, you got the Queen of Cups. A lot of intuition, a lot of emotional awareness that comes in here. You do have the Death and Rebirth card, so there is a reevaluation. It's like a transformation that happens here. You got the Page of Cups too, more emotional energy. And you have the Five of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords too. The Five of Pentacles is related to the fear of lack, like not being enough, not having enough, even being left behind, being left out in the cold. The Nine of Swords is the nightmare and insomnia card, which so there's I feel like what happens here with this rebirth, you face over a year a lot of thoughts and beliefs about lack and about the what the mind has been telling you you're supposed to do and should do and need to do and have to do and must do, blah, blah, blah. It's small t truths rooted in fear. And I feel like with taking a year off, this energy that comes in is a realization of what does my heart want? Because my mind has been bullying my heart with this energy, and it's like this fear of not having enough, of not being enough, of pleasing other people, of not pleasing other people, all that stuff. There's like this freedom that comes in here. And I like this. I like this, again, the balance between the head and the heart. Feels like you get to really know your heart over that year and decide what it is you want and not want. And I feel like you gain a lot of clarity. So that's if you do take off or out a year to prepare. If you don't, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is about abundance. This is about um a lot of like not fulfillment, that's not a good word. A lot of external things come your way, like money and um things that you feel like, well, this is what I want to do. You have a lot of what the mind would say is success in the outside world. You get a lot of that stuff coming in. But there's something with this 9 of wands, it just like you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you hit your head up against a wall. Even with all of this stuff coming in, you just feel like there's this barrier that's keeping things from you here. You have the Sun card, so you feel like this big sense of abundance that flows in again here. And then here's the Queen of Swords. You do eventually learn the balance between head and heart. So, regardless, they're saying whether you take a year off or not, you're going to learn either through having a year off from whatever this is an off from, and you learn without as much uh, investment, external investment. Whereas this other, if you don't take a year off, then you make a lot of progress, but progress toward um, something that I feel like you end up changing direction in your life with this year off. And after a year of all this progress and movement and, financial or external investment, you still end up changing. So you learn without external investment and with external investment to bring your heart in, because I feel like you feel empty if without taking this year off. I feel like you get a lot from the external world, but you feel empty on the inside, and you're like, this didn't bring me what I thought it would. And so I feel like you end up changing course anyway. So you can do it without a year investment or with. Either way, you either have, you have a scenic route or the really stuck in traffic route that takes a lot of energy and effort to get through, or an enjoyable journey, right? That's why I look at it, is like I can either take a year off and find what my heart wants and where I want to go. And I didn't, let's say it's like going to school, if this is what this is about. It's kind of the energy I'm feeling like if I should I take all these classes and go through all this and have all that expense or have all that student debt and whatever, to find out at the end that it's not what I want to do and these classes are not going to go toward my degree that I'm changing to, and so all that time and effort and energy isn't going to bring me any closer to my dream than had I taken the year off. So hopefully that helps, Raisin. Let's see what your fortune cookie is here as well. Whoa, there we go. Yeah. Surrender frustration, which says frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more clearly. That makes sense, right? Taking a breath, taking a breather. Yeah, I see that here. All right, that's what they have for you, Raisin. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. right? And then Michelle Smith, you are up. Let's grab your correct timestamp there. There we go. So, Michelle, you'd like an ancestor's message? Absolutely. I don't want that tea anymore. I'm going to drink this water here. Hold on. All right. So let's take a look here, Michelle. What do the ancestors want you to know right now? All right. So your ancestors. Just feel like a great sense of pride coming through. And these two. Okay. And that's the bottom. So we're already going to look at that already. Yeah, I love it. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the Strength card, Leo energy. And I love this. Leo the lion, the leader, and the leading energy is what I really feel is important here. You've got these cards here. You've got one card, and then it goes 3, 2, 1. So I feel like this one card is a end of a cycle, 3, 2, 1, and then the beginning of an ending of another cycle, 3, 2, 1. So I feel like your ancestors are saying that you are a breaker of cycles and a changer of cycles. That's interesting. I've never heard that really before, but it is. You're changing a cycle. You're altering it. So you've broken a cycle, and now you're changing a cycle, which I guess is different from breaking. Breaking is like separating it. Changing is more altering. It's not a complete breaking, but it's because it didn't need a complete overhaul, just needed some adjustments, and that's what you're doing. And you agreed, like you wanted to do this coming into this family tree, this lifetime is, yeah, when I do this, I'm going to help break a cycle and even change something. Yeah, let's go, right? And so you're ending this other cycle, the Knight of Wands. Yeah. So this pursuit of stepping into your power. And I feel like when in breaking a cycle of ancestral lines, you really did learn to step into your power. You had this, again, this bravery of this courage of the Strength card with the Knight of Wands, the Knight on fire, a very powerful, energetic knight that, allowed to step into their power to make change, to initiate change, and to spark change. Now, what you're headed into here, let's see here. You've got the 6 of Wands. Again, this victory energy, but the stepping forward and being seen. You're being uplifted here. Let's see what this is about. Queen of Swords, the great balancer, one of the great balancers between head and heart, and the 4 of Pentacles. Solid foundation of home. So there is this changing of what home feels like, and this alteration that um, you're making in regards to this balance between head and heart and the feeling of home, but this victory feeling and being upheld and seen. It's as if there's this, because I'm getting this energy of divine masculine, divine feminine energy, and this combination togetherness here, like becoming the matriarch, patriarch of the family. It just feels like this authority, this strength, but it's the change of all this. And I feel like it's a change of mindset. And instead of looking at something as less, it's like that it's empowerment. Let me see if we have more here, because I'm just, it's just an interesting energy. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Yeah, the Emperor. Yeah, here's divine masculine energy taking over, and the Page of Wands. So here's that energy again of stepping into the power And, the emperor is like the king of wands too. They hold the staff and they decide what they want, and all the opinion gets put to the side, but there they step into authority and allow themselves to be seen as someone that's not less than, but powerful. It's like an empress becoming the emperor of a region where there's never been a female emperor before. And it's like, boom, here I am. And this is like that kind of change of energy that I feel here, the stepping into power. And maybe there's a long line of, you know, um, the feminine in the family was always taking a lower role, and or wasn't allowed to work, or always just obeyed the husband, all that old stuff. I just feel like there's this huge change here, of change of reign of power is what I feel like. So hopefully this resonates for you. And the magician again. So all of these holding this magic wand. The Knight of Wands is on the quest for the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Emperor holding the big Ace of Wands staff, and the magician. So there's been all this, you know, gaining back and stepping into one's own power. And I feel like that's what the ancestors, that's why they're proud of you, because you did take on, you want to take on this leadership role, and wow, even the higher self is on a throne here too. So there's all this enthroning and stepping into a place of important prominence and power within the ancestral line and family tree that you did. And you've been the breaker of chains, and now you're the changer of things too. And so, and that makes sense. Like, if there's a matriarchal, patriarchal foundation, there's leadership. Leadership doesn't need to be broken, it just can be changed to make it more in alignment, because without leadership, a family can drift apart. So sometimes having a central figure is important. And I feel like that this is what's changing. So hopefully that makes sense, Michelle. Let's see what your fortune cookies comes in here. And you've got surrender to divine timing. Giant moon. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. And I feel like this is the divine timing, right? This is the timing of things, and trust that certain maybe people are passing away that allow, you know, a change of guard in a way, if that makes sense. All right, Michelle. Hopefully that resonates with you. Very interesting energy. All right. So that's what they have for you, Michelle. So many blessings to you. All right. My glass here. All right. Then we have Maria P. Thank you so much. I got your PayPal donation. So thank you so much for that. And let's grab your questions here. This will be the last of the donations. So the other readings will go a bit faster. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there and for your patience and getting to your readings. All right. Excuse me. So, Maria. So, what are Wally's feelings and thoughts towards you today? Let's take a look here. Okay, feelings and thoughts is that one. You had a date, but he had a caca day before you hung out. He said he has uh, a normal relationship with Adriana, ex baby mama, and has. Oh, well, okay, interesting. So you want to know about his had a caca day before he hung out. So you had a question mark by that. So I feel like you want to know, what was this caca day before he hung out here? And then he said he has a normal relationship with his ex baby mama. All right. Interesting. Okay. So he has a normal relationship with her? I thought they were splitting up. Let's see what's coming here. Anything else here? Okay. Let's grab these two. Put that one and this one too. All right. Tell us what's going on here. All right. First of all, let's look at feelings and thoughts towards you. So we do have the temperance card. So this is the patience card, like we have the slow moving, the things unfolding, slowly going back and forth. So there is progress and movement with the temperance card, but he's always been that. He's not in a rush to get towards any direction. I mean, like he's not like in a mad rush to get to a certain point. It's the enjoyment, the alchemy of it going back and forth and the magic that's happening that's transforming it, right? Um and thoughts, they have the tower card here. And the tower card is this energy of kind of like the fear of endings, the fear of, a lightning strike here. So feel like they, with the sharing of information, I mean, there is this, um, again, this is the fear of endings that's coming in here. Well, I'm sure we'll get more in here when we dive into these other cards, but I feel like, this is the patience to wait to see and unfold and see what comes, but they do have that fear, I feel like, you know, um, of endings. Now you had a date and you had a caca day. What was this caca day about? You had the Eight of Cups, which is about walking away from emotions that don't serve anymore. The Four of Swords is a peace of mind energy, but the Five of Pentacles, again, the fear of lack, the fear of being left behind, being left out in the cold, kind of energy here. And this whole fear of endings, it just seems like it's this Five of Pentacles, which is usually like the fear of abandonment. And I feel like that's the core energy I'm feeling with that Tower card. And their Kaka Day is that this goes way back to childhood. And I feel like the fear of being abandoned, because I feel like they were abandoned by maybe a parent physically, maybe if not physically, definitely emotionally, but I feel like it was physically where so they've got this their little inner child fears endings and doesn't like to end things because it gets scared because it feels like it's about them, their worth and their failure here. And this Eight of Cups and the Four of Swords is like there's this it's like the lack of peace of mind of wanting to walk away from things, at least externally. I've got a lot going on. Well, let's see what else we have here for this. Because this is, I mean, we got what, five cards for this other thing about that he has a normal relationship with his Adriana, the ex baby mama, celebrate their anniversary. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we have that hermit because the hermit card is this them wanting to be by themselves. And so they're still maintaining a relationship. That just doesn't make sense here. We got the hanged man, which is the cocoon, the transformation energy, seeing things from a different perspective. What else do we have here? So you got the Ace of Cups, bringing in the self love. Let's see here. The Queen of Wands. We get the Queen of Wands a lot for this X, right? Which is um, this energy of, um, you know, it reminds me of like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Off with their heads, off with their heads. Very fiery. Don't mess with, you'll lose your head if you mess with them kind of energy. And the Eight of Pentacles, again, another transformational energy that's here. And so there's a lot of, this Ace of Cups is about our relationship with other people is reflective of how we feel about ourselves, right? And I mean, it's interesting here because the energy I pick up with these is they want to be by themselves, but out of fear they maintain something. Um, Even though they're in their heart, they're wanting to move away from things, right? So even though they're maintaining a normal relationship, it feels like it's just external, but internal. They're wanting to leave. They're wanting to get out of here with that hermit and the hanged man. But this, and even the Eight of Pentacles is transformational energy, like putting in blood, sweat, and tears to be able to move into something else. This is interesting here. Um, let's see what's coming here because this just feels weird. We got the Two of Wands. This is choices to be made, right? The Ten of Pentacles, Two of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles is a choice in relationships that's coming up here. And it's like, it's a decision point has to be made coming up here. That's with this underlying energy. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, which is movement of passion. The Four of Cups, which is emotional stability. Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity opening up in the outside world. I'm going to let me get some more clarity here because this is just bizarre to me. Because the energy that we've been picking up all along matches this hermit and the hangman. We always get that hermit. They want to have a space of their own so that they can, move away from that situation. But this Queen of Wands, it's just like trying to keep face and trying to pretend until they're able to get the bravery to do it. Let's take a look here. Can you tell us more here? Yeah, the Chariot. Choices to be made is what's coming up here. Because the Chariot is the choice between the dark or the light horse. What is happening here? Yep, the Lovers. Emotional choice has to be made here. Yeah, because I know that like you have the Star, which is the dream come true energy. What is the dream come true? And your dream is not to be the other person, you know, and and I don't know what has changed here um, with everything, but it feels here that a decision needs to be made. And of course, if this is what is going on here with that they're still maintaining this relationship, you're like, well, then go be in that relationship then. Make that relationship work. And if it's not enough for you, then you shouldn't, have them, have go through that and have me go through this, you know. Um, so I feel like and it's important for you to make your choices too with all this, but this is so weird. But I just feel like it's an external relationship, but not an internal one. That's why he's fallen for you, right? Let's see what your fortune cookie says here, Maria. My goodness. My goodness. Yeah, and it says surrender to what is, which says flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. And I feel like that's an important step is to go, well, I can't change what's going on over there. So let me just sit for a moment and let me accept what is. And then, because if you're in fight or flight mode, if this caused reaction right within you, then it's important for you to come back and, as I know it's hard to come back and be calm, but go, all right, so whatever is. I can't change anything of what's going on with them. But let me come back here. Let me take a big deep breath. Let me step back and find out, what do I want? And then you ask for what you want, and then you decide based on that. We talked before about how, because they are not your life, you have your life and they're a part of your life, but they're not your life. And so whether they're in it or not, you are going to thrive and move forward in your life. Um, Whether they're in it or not is not going to make or break you, even though it feels like it at the time, right? And we've been talking about this for a while, right? Where this is about you maintaining that you live your life and they're a part of your life, but not your life. And this is a good, if things are headed that direction and all this, that they want their cake and eat it too kind of thing. You're like, no, I deserve more. And this whole time you said you were leaving them, and if you're not, then you need to go be with them, because that's what I would want. If I'm with you, I'd always be wondering if you have someone on the side, you know. And so I deserve more. But this is a good awareness for the future as well, whether this works out or not, that, you know, I live my life and someone's a part of it, but they're not my life. Because if we put our life on hold because of someone, then when that ends, or if it ends, then I'm starting back up, and it's been a year, but you've learned a lot over this year. But I feel like this is an important piece of accept what is and sit in it for a moment and then see what you're wanting to go forward, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit, Maria. That just sucks. I'm not going to just beat around the bush on that one, right? It sucks. And um, you deserve more if this is what they're doing. So, right. Hang in there, my dear. Much love to you. All right, everybody. So, that is the end of the donations. So now the free readings will move faster, because they're 1 to 2 cards, and we don't dive as deep into those. So we'll start here. I've got 3 of my YouTube channel members. We'll start with those, and then we'll move into the others. So up first, we've got Moonlight 5. Let me grab your timestamp here. And thank you for all your donations earlier as well. I saw your comment when I was going through grabbing all the readings, and you went, ego, do I have that? It's on vacation. Well, we were talking about the ego, the mind, right? All the supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, our shadow, our ego, it's there. We're going to have one until we are out of this human character's body, because we're always going to have all these long held beliefs and thoughts that are there. So it's on vacation. It can be, uh, it could be on vacation, but if we have any conflict between our head and our heart, then it's definitely not on vacation. Mine doesn't go on vacation. It's never taken a sick day either. All right. So, for your free reading, you want to know who or what from the other side is visiting you these days. Someone's here making your cats behave strange. That's funny. Let's take a look here. So, who? Yeah, who? All right, here we go. You got the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, definitely a very um, prominent divine feminine energy with the Queen of Cups. Someone very emotional. And if you had someone you knew, and I feel like it's more family that was very intuitive. Um, Ace of Swords, too, is like a teacher kind of energy to me. So I don't know if you had someone who was a teacher in your family, Queen of Cups, feminine um, line energy. They're the ones that are coming and just bringing messages for you with this Ace of Swords, bringing you messages. But the cats are just responding or reacting to this new energy because I don't feel like they've been around you a lot before. So it almost feels ancestral. Because it could be like maybe a great grandmother or great great grandmother, because it's someone that I don't feel like you knew in this lifetime, but it's one of your ancestors that's coming. But this teacher energy is really coming in, and they were very intuitive, and they're coming to bring you messages, and this has to do with because we were talking about your empathic abilities expanding, and I feel like they are coming in because they're an expert in that to help guide you in this stage of your empathic expansion. So I feel like it's going to be one of your divine feminine ancestors who was a teacher who's here to help you teach to teach you on how to use your empathic abilities because they're being upgraded. So they're there. It's like when if you ever have like a corporation and someone comes with a new upgrade to your software, they come in to instruct and show you how you can use it and the different uh, bells and whistles that it comes with. That's what they're here to show you. And it just happens to be that your cats are very aware. Animals usually are, but they're just like, "Who's that? Who's this energy? What's going on?" And I love that. So hopefully that helps moonlight. That's what they have for you for that. All right, and then Livier Vergara, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Hello, hello, my dear. You want to know what's going on with Harry? He's a Cancer sign. He's not as easy going. There is money to pay. Is he being honest about not having it yet? Is he doing other errands or businesses? All right, let's take a look here. All right. Is he going to be honest about, is he being honest about not having the money yet? Right. Okay. And then is he done other businesses and other errands? Okay. So, Two of Cups is, when we're asking about is he honest about not having it yet, the Two of Cups is important relationship. So I don't feel like he's lying. I feel like he is being honest. I don't feel like he doesn't have the money. So I definitely feel like he's telling the truth in that. Is he doing other errands or businesses? We have the Queen of Cups here. And this makes sense with being a Cancer sign because this is a ton of emotional energy, right? Queen of Cups rolls over cups. All the queens get a second portion of cups. So it's two parts. In fact, they have her holding two cups, two Ace of Cups. And here's that Two of Cups. they, I don't feel like they're doing other businesses. In fact, this energy I'm getting is like they're a very um, giving person in a way where they'll do a lot of stuff for people for free instead of charging people for some things. It just feels like they're donating time, donating, you know, not charging as much, or it's that kind of energy I'm feeling from them because they do have that. even though if they're not as easygoing, that if that's the perception, this Cancer energy with all this emotion is they very much care about what people think, and they'll more be like, "Oh, I'm, you know, um, oh no, no, that's okay, you don't have that to give, just take this." And I just feel like that's the kind of thing that's kind of causing them trouble is they're too giving because of guilt, to other people, which makes them in a place of not having enough money because they're helping everyone else as a kind of a self-sacrificial type of energy, which is low vibration Cancer energy, right? So I kind of feel like that's more what's going on with it all. And um, if we, you know, our experience with them is our experience, right? And so the perceptions that you have toward them, you can change your energy toward them. When we're focusing on what we feel is wrong with someone or how they're disappointing us or not living up to our expectations, what our energy does is invite more of that. Something you can try is just like try to think of what are you grateful for in who they are and sincerely grateful for and look and see the things that we can uh, focus on with that and see how the energy changes with it because it is happening for a reason, right? Right. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, Livier. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Lisa, you are up. So Lisa, you said you rejected going forward with an opportunity because of the cattiness that you were feeling. Do your guides feel you made the right decision? You were taking the advice from yesterday's oracle. Let's take a look here. So, from spirit's perspective, they don't have a right or wrong. That's a human thing. Judgment is a human thing. What the way they look at it is that there's just different. There's not right or wrong choices. There's different choices that bring different outcomes. And so when we're asking them, we can ask them more. So, what did this uh, rejection, if let's say, because of this rejection, what's the energy around it? What would have been the energy had I not rejected it? Okay, so we'll pull one card for what did this rejection, what kind of energy did that bring for me? And then what if I had not rejected this opportunity? Just to see what resonates here for you. Okay, so what's coming here? Yeah, Three of Wands. It allows you to go a different direction with new information that allows you to be in more in alignment with something that is more in alignment with who you are, where you're going. Because the Three of Wands is you're making this choice and it's a supported choice. If you had not done it, you have the Knight of Cups. Then there would have been this adventure in emotion. And what they're saying by that, because the energy that comes in is like, it would have been an adventure. It would have been an heart up and down and all over the place. And it would have been because they're not using the word quest like they normally do. A quest for the Ace of Cups. It's like, no, it would have been an emotional, um, what did, when knights used to fight, like how they have the lances and they do the little fighting with the stick and and they knock each other off the horses. It would be a skirmish, a battle, a whatever that's called. Like it would have led to a lot of emotional battles. So really, I mean, with that energies, from my human standpoint, I mean, it seems like that you avoided emotional, um, you know, the battling, the games, the emotional games, the emotional fighting and skirmishes, and the Three of Wands is taking you in a different direction that's more in alignment. So it feels positive with that. So hopefully that helps, Lisa. That's what they have for you right now, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. So that was it for my YouTube monthly channel members. Let me bring some more of the free readings over here. Again, thank you guys so much for all your patience in getting to your readings. I'm very grateful for that. Let's take a look here. Let me just scroll these down here. There we go. All right. So, Starfall, you are up next here. So, Starfall, hello, hello. So, you want to know how will it go working with Libra Daniel? Very balanced, I imagine. Let's take a look here. All right. Got one card. Let's see what else we got here. All right. I do want this one here too. All right. Wow. Well, you got two major arcana. You have the full card, and you got the devil card too. The devil card, the reason I kind of chuckled, because the devil card is Saturn energy, Capricorn, that rolls over Capricorn. Capricorn is the work. The house rolls over the house of work. And so the devil card is the shaking and the rattling of our cage, of our expectations. It brings things to our face so that we could be freed from them. And the full card is it's the first card in the major arcana following the world card, which is the last card in the major arcana, right? Which is the ending of an old cycle, beginning of new adventure, an ending of old ways of thinking. And the full card is like possibilities. So working with Libra Daniel, I feel like you would be like your ways of approaching work would be challenged, but you would learn a lot and you'd be freed from a lot of things. And the example they're bringing me is like when I was a supervisor in a warehouse once, I people were on production and I was telling someone we would get returns and they would go put them back on the shelves and I was saying I'd see them walk with one box and put stuff away, come back and then take another box, and it would took them a long time to get into the aisles. And I told them, if you unpack, like fill up your entire cart by unpacking, you would save so much time and your production would be higher, um, and you could actually get paid the same and go home earlier, work fewer hours and you'd be basically getting paid more. And they're like, "Oh, thank you for that." And then I'd see them do 2 boxes instead of the whole cart. And then I would see him keep doing that, and then I would tell them, "Hey, so we talked about that, and, oh, yeah, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you." I'm like, "All right." They do 3 boxes instead of filling up their entire cart. So I went up to him and I was like, "Is there a reason why you're not doing that?" Like, "Yeah, my brother drives, he's not on production, I have to wait for him anyway. So why, I'm just enjoying and taking my time and da da." And I'm like, it didn't matter to me, I had to be there either way, but I was like, "Oh, okay." It allowed me to release that and feel like people don't have to do things a certain way. And I feel like this is what it would be like. It'd be a great learning experience. I feel like they would challenge your logic, and allow you this energy of being, um, I would say open-minded to other people's approaches, even if they're not as, of course, right as ours. Anyway, that's the kind of energy I feel coming in there for you, Starfall. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have here Patricia. Let me grab your timestamp here. So, Patricia, guidance from your spirit team on releasing and letting go with full moon energy. I know, right? So there was some good Sagittarius. It's expander. Jupiter rules over Sagittarius, big expander of emotion. If you haven't checked out my um, Sagittarius full moon video, make sure to check that out. There's some great information in that and a collective reading too. So let's see what else they would like you to know here on release energy. Yeah, it's interesting here. You've got the Wheels of Fate and the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups energy can be many things, but for this combo of the Wheel of Fate and the Six of Cups is like past life energies and past life release. So I feel like this releasing and letting go energy, I feel like there's some deep-seated, it's like some of the emotions you're feeling are really connected to past life energies that have been cycling. And I feel like there's some important release of some past life emotion that you've had that you're ready to let go of. And I feel like that's why at least a couple emotions feel so strong and so overwhelming. And it's because they've got these anchors in deep into your subconscious because it's like an anchor that's been down in the water for a long time that has a lot of plankton and a lot of, you know, things that are attached to it, making it more heavy because there's been many lifetimes where you felt this, and this is a lifetime that you're able to release it. So, if there's emotions that just feel so hard to let go of, try looking back over past life energy and seeing what past lives are attached and come up with that. And I feel like that will help with release. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you, Patricia. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Yadi Colón, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And thank you for your donation earlier for your free question. You want to know, is there someone doing spells or wishing bad on you? This is causing blocks so I don't get a job. Well, the wonderful news is that no one can cause blocks in your life except you. um, and we'll pull cards here as well. But when we're wondering about people casting spells and wishing bad things, my energy, what I put out, is only going to attract things for me. I can wish the worst on someone, but all that's going to do is draw that to me because my energy I'm putting out is saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, not I want them to have this. Right. And if I wish a blessing on someone, you can send love energy and the higher self of the person, whatever energy we send towards someone, the higher self of that person will use that energy in what the way they want. If we send low vibrational energy to someone, their higher self is going to go, ew, what is that? They're not going to even allow that to be near them. But when we send unconditional love energy to bless someone, they're like, I will take that and use that for my benefit. But a higher self would never take lower vibrational energy to put a curse on us or to do that, right? So it's the only way that spells work on other people is if I tell you, hey, I'm putting a curse on you and you're going to get sick or you're not going to get a job and everything. And I'm doing this on you now. And we're like, what? Really? Oh my God, I'm not going to get a job. I'm not going to get a job and I'm not going to get a job. Well, my energy of saying, I don't want a job. I'm not getting a job. I'm not getting a job is going to make me not get a job. Or I'm going to get sick. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. My energy of focusing on getting sick draws it to me, right? So that's how spells work. And it's amazing. It's a good money making business, right? If I can get you to believe in that people can put spells on you, then I can get you to pay me 5 easy payments of $9.99 to lift that curse for you. And if I get you to believe that the curse has been lifted, your energy feels the curse has been lifted, and then your energy brings in stuff that matches the curse being lifted, right? Isn't that amazing? Busted, oh no. And the bottom of the deck, you have the magician. You hold the power over your life. And I feel like this is what they want to do here. You got the the four of swords, peace of mind, right? And so, rather than blaming other people that, other people are doing stuff and that's what's causing blocks in my life. If I just take my power back, right? And I realize, no, no one can do anything to my life except me. And so I'm going to look and go, what's causing my blocks? Well, with the magician card here, one of the things that you can focus on is realizing if I am focusing on I need a job, I want a job, that's lack energy, right? So my energy is asking for more lack. And I know that's counterintuitive because of what we've been told growing up, right? Focus on what you want, focus on what you need to draw it to you. No, need and want is lack because um I don't um if I to need something means I'm missing something. So I need something to fill that missingness, right? If I want something, that means I'm wanting, and there's something missing, and I want something to fill it. Yeah, you're like, but I don't have a job, and I need a job. Well, need and want, push it away. Instead, what we do is we can ask Creator, I really would like a job. We ask them once. They have a great memory. We don't have to remind them every day, every moment, right? We ask once, Creator, I would like a new job. All right. And then we start focus on gratitude. You know what job? Like if I'm in a job right now, um, then I would focus on what I love about the job I have now. If I don't have a job, regardless, then we also focus on what jobs have I had in the past that I've loved, or what about those jobs I loved? Because we're probably not going to love an entire job normally. We're gonna love parts of a job, right? "Oh, I love this about that job. I love this about that job." And sincere, and when we're focusing on that, then we trust, we hand it to the creator knowing you're gonna bring me the perfect job in the perfect way, in the perfect timing. I give that all to you. I asked you once, now I'm gonna focus on gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude for what I do have in my life, for any jobs I have in my life, for any jobs I have had in my life, and then that opens up the energy that draws those things to us. So it's not a spell or someone wishing bad, it's my energy that's pushing it away from me, and my energy, I can change that and draw it to me. So I love that. So that is what they have for you, Yadi. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's what they have. So many blessings to you. Right, and then Nelia Medeiros, you are up next here. So thank you so much for your donations earlier. And you wanted a general for July. All right, let me take a quick sip here. So what does Spirit wants you to know about July? Okay. Well, you got the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Wow, July does bring you a release here from some expectations. The Nine of Swords is the nightmare and insomnia card. The Four of Swords is peace of mind, balanced mental energy. So the Nine of Swords, nine is like an ending energy. It's like the 10 is the walking out the door. That's the ending and beginning energy. But nine is an endings energy. It's also the hermit energy. So I feel like July, you're spending time questioning some old thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you anymore, that you're ready to release. You're ready to let them go. And your mind just becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and more at peace throughout July. So that can mean that you're going to have some opportunities to have some things come up for you so you can go, "Oh, yeah, this trigger that's been coming up a lot in my life, I'm ready to let this go. Thank you for coming and making yourself known through this situation," usually through a conflict, right? But it's a mental conflict that comes up and going, "Okay, so why do I fear you? Where did you come from? What's the root? Let's go to the root and find, oh, here is the original, thing that happened. And now I understand why I fear that. The small t truth at the root, and then rooted in fear, and going, okay, now I can transform that and transmute it. And then that trigger will never come again. So I feel like July, one of the big things that they want you to know is you'll be uh, lifting some triggers and freeing yourself from some triggers that you've had in your life. So I like it. Um, yeah, I don't have any specifics on which area of your life it's on, so it must be a variety of different areas of your life: relationships, jobs, education, social status, or your body, your bank accounts, possessions. I feel like there's little things that pop up. There's a release in all these different areas for you. So I like that. Freedom. All right. So that's what they have for you, Nelia. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Ashish, you are up. So Ashish Balkaran, if I said that correctly. So you want to know, is your third eye trying to open because you feel movement? Is it trying to like literally open up? Oh my God. You'll make it on the news for sure if that happens. Just jokes, just jokes. Let's take a look here. Um, so is your third eye wanting to open larger than it is already, right? Yeah, I do believe it is. Yeah, the full card, which is a brand new beginning, an the ending of an old cycle. This is the beginning of a new cycle, a new adventure. You have the Knight of Swords, which is the quest for higher knowledge and more clarity. The Ace of Swords allows you to see things from your higher self. So definitely it is opening up more. And with all the energy we have going on this year and next year, humanity is expanding. So I'm not surprised that your third eye is wanting to open up more, gain more clarity, closing your eyes, and imagine seeing things from your higher self's perspective. That's what comes through the third eye. That's the connection to the spirit world, right through the crown chakra. It's like the crown chakra is the like crystal on our forehead that the light shines through, and then our third eye is like the little projector that projects it into our little third eye dream movie screen so that we can see things more clearly and see things from those perspectives. So I like that for you. But definitely, I feel like it is definitely opening up for you. What things you can do to help with that? Really, it's just about connecting to the higher love and questioning our thoughts and our beliefs and our mindsets that make us feel small and restricted, and these small t truths rooted in fear. That Knight of Swords is the quest of seeing things from the higher perspective and cutting away our small t truth beliefs. So it's allowing, it's almost like creating mental space to be able to have um, a clearer picture be projected in our mind's eye. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's coming in for you, Ashish. And so many blessings to you. All right. And then Alicia, you are up. So Alicia is probably how it's said. So your free question: will you get a medical college, and will you get into medical college and become a doctor? All right, let's take a look here. Based on your current energies, let's see what Spirit has here for you. All right. So, number one, will you get into a medical college? Temperance, yep, eventually there is, I know, patience, right? Ugh, but it does show here, it's alchemy. It means there is movement. It just feels like it takes forever, but then the gold happens. Will you become a doctor? You have the Ace of Cups. This is joy here. So if that is your heart's desire, then because the Ace of Cups is about following your heart. Is this what you want in your heart, or is this what you want in your mind, right? So if this is truly what your heart wants, how you want to express the love in your heart to the world, if you close your eyes and open your heart, and your heart is, yes, I want to become a doctor, then yeah, that's exactly what you get. Your heart's desire, not your mind's desire. So if that is what it is, then that's a yes there. So I like that for you, Dr. Alicia. You don't get that yet till you do all the work, I know, but we'll speak it into being, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. right, and then we have Gojo. You are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. So Goju Satoru, if I mispronounced it, my apologies. Which one should you use? DSIO or TDIO or none? Which one will bring you more benefits? All right, let's take a look here. We'll pull 3 cards here and see what energy comes through for each and see what matches for you, right? So DSIO. All right. That's that card. TDIO. All right, this one here. Or none of the above, right? And I feel like it's this one right here. All right. Well, I definitely feel here. So DSIO, you've got the full card, which is a lot of possibilities. It really opens up things. It just feels like it's the ending of something and the beginning of something new. It's almost like you might have to restart a whole bunch of stuff and start from scratch on some things. TDIO, you got the Sun card, which is one of the most abundant bright stars, cards that mean success and very, 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 very positive card. And then none of the above is Five of Wands, which is drama and a lot of firestorm. So I would feel like they're pointing you to TDIO for the greatest success here. And if that's not possible, then DSIO, but it doesn't feel like choosing none causes other problems. So I would do TDIO, is what the cards are there. Of course, I'm not a professional in any of these. Of course, tarot is for fun and entertainment purposes, as the disclaimer in the description box says. So, of course, ultimately seek technical professional experts in things. And ultimately, you get to make your own decisions. I have to say that here in the United States. I'm not legally liable for any of your decisions. All right. So that's what they have for you. Let me bring some more of these readings over here. And thank you guys again so much for your patience and getting to your readings. So grateful. And we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. All right. There we go. All right. So, Victoria, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, Victoria, hello, hello. What do you need to know for the upcoming weekend? That's right. Happy, happy weekend. Can you believe it? Zoom, zoom. Well, you got the High Priestess and the Fool card coming in here. So, the High Priestess energy is a card of, she steps away from the chaos. She goes up into her High Priestess temple, connects with spirit, looks behind the veil, dives deep into emotions, discovers hidden things. And she also very much intuitive, and following your intuition and following your gut instincts this weekend is important. The Fool card is about new beginnings. It's the ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. There is that, energy that's here with this. And I just feel like trust your gut, but I feel like there's a new opportunity this weekend to do something that's so new and follow your heart, follow your gut, with making those decisions. But I feel like there is a great, when you got 2 major arcana, so there's a great opportunity of starting something new to end something that's been kind of going on for a long time, but you're ready to end something to open a beginning to go in to a new direction. And I feel like that's important, but take some time to step away from things to reflect with that High Priestess card, but then trust that gut and that instinct. What comes in the silence, what comes when you step away from the chaos, will help guide you too. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you right now, Victoria. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Content, you are up. Let's put your timestamp in here. All right. So content, you want to know, will R contact you in the next 24 hours? All right. Like this one and this one. Will they contact you in the next 24 hours? Sorry, I says say 48, but it's 24. But you got the Four of Wands, which is joy and celebration, and the Eight of Wands, which is fast. So I do feel like they will hear with this. Maybe this four and this eight was where I got the 48 hours. Um, so maybe the next 24 to 48 hours. Which I think you were at 6:06 p.m. Here it is 11:30 p.m. That was 5 hours ago anyway. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to come out of nowhere. So maybe more the 24 to 48 hours, not so much within the 24 hours with this energy that's coming in. Because that four and that eight definitely stood out to me. But it is joy and it's worth the wait. And I feel like the Eight of Wands, it comes out of nowhere. So it does feel like they do. So there you go. That's what they have for you, content. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Maria Amethyst Celandine, you are up next. So your question was here. You were wondering what will happen to you and Philippe. Now, originally you'd asked about how many children you would have, and I answered that last weekend about it being one child. Um, so if you want to dive more into that in another session, we can. Or if you have trouble finding that reading from last weekend, just comment in this on this video. I couldn't find the question about how many children I would have. I'll go find it for you and do that because I can probably find it pretty quick. Amongst all the stuff I do, I kind of feel more familiar with it, of course, than you with everything that you watch, right? Mine's more limited, so I can do that for you if you didn't see that reading. And you're wondering what will happen to you and Philippe. All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies, what will happen here? So you got that one. Oh, none of those. And this one here. All right. All right, well, you got two major arcana coming in here. You do have the Empress and the Strength card coming in here. So, you know, these are positive energies. The Empress is about abundance and harvest and sensuality. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So making sure to nurture yourself. But the Leo energy, there's a lot of sensuality that's flowing in these two cards together. The Empress does have that, you know, divine feminine sensuality energy, and the strength card is fire Leo energy as well. So there is this courageousness, this attraction energy. So based on this, I feel like there's going to be a strong energetic and physical attraction between the two of you that comes in here. And maybe this is where the one child comes from if you're not careful with this birthing empress energy. So be careful. If anything happens, you don't want a child. Beware with all this fire energy and sensuality and creative energy that's here. So there is definitely possibilities of this strong attraction energy. I still feel like it's not, because it's the future, it's based on your choices, of course. It's not gonna, happen against your will or anything like that. So, very, very fiery, sensual, attractive energy. So I feel like that's kind of the next step that's happening here. So there's this strong attraction between the two of you. Where it goes from there, that's in the future still, so they are not letting me see that yet. Alright, so that's what's coming through for you, Maria Amethyst Celandine. So many blessings to you. Alright, and then JJJ, you are up. Excuse me. Let's grab your correct timestamp here. Whoa, that was totally off there. Wow. All right, there we go. Now we have it here, JJJ. So does JK have truly destined partner or some destined partner according to the path he chooses? All right, let's take a look here. So does JK in this lifetime, do they have a destined partner or do they have more of, it depends on what choices they make, right? Because I get it. In some lifetimes, we do choose that regardless of what path we take, we end up with that one person, right? All paths lead to that one person. Whereas in other lifetimes, if we choose these paths, we end up with this person. These paths, we end up with this person. These paths, we end up with this person. So I get it here. And I feel like it's the latter, that they don't have an absolute fated one person. With the 10 of wands, there's all these different paths, and the justice card is the balancing based on, with the ace of swords, the choices they make is what determines what side of the scale things go on. So I do feel like it's more the latter, which is depending on what energetic choices they make, they can end up with like 10 different people. Um, of course, not all 10, but 10 separate different people that they'll end up with only one of them in their lifetime. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's coming through, JJJ. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Sean G, you are up. So thank you so much for your donations earlier. And your free question is guidance for the rest of the month. Let's see here. For the rest, I can't believe we're in the middle of June already. My goodness. Whoosh, whoosh. This year is flying by again. All right. So we've got that in this here. So what guidance for the rest of this month? Yeah. I love this. And this kind of, I think, reflects on some of the readings we had. You are the Queen of Wands. You hold the magic wand, right? The Ace of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, there's this one deck. It's actually this. Is it this card? No. I was gonna go, wouldn't that be great if I just grabbed it and it was it? But this light sears, it shows like someone holding the staff, the Ace of Wands, and there's this little fence that's in front of them, only up to like their knees, but it's keeping them from moving forward. But the Ace of Wands is like the what the whole fence is attached to. If they lift that up, the fence falls apart. And so this energy of any blocks, that you have the power to remove them for the rest of this month, that whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. And going back to that, focusing on gratitude, focusing on joy, focusing on that higher vibration and not focusing on need and want and fear or what we don't like about someone or what something that's not happening. It's all about this energy this rest of this month is, what am I focusing on each moment? They're showing in my head, like how they have apps where we capture the food we eat so we can see how much calories we're eating and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is energetic consumption. What energies am I consuming during the day? What am I feeding my eyes, my ears, my nose, my mouth, my touch, my overall energy? What thoughts am I focusing on? What mental energy am I consuming? What emotional energy am I consuming? What focal, drawing, manifestation energy am I focusing on? What physical actions am I focusing on? And it's like being aware of that, just really this I'm stepping into the power of my energy, where it's being invested, what I'm putting out, what I'm taking in, what I'm drawing to me too. Because I feel like that's such an important thing for you that it becomes a habit of being aware of where am I investing my energy in each moment, because we can get so drawn into the outside world we don't realize, oh, for an hour I was watching Instagram reels, that what kind of energy was I consuming that whole time? And it's like, well, that's not good. I just spent the last hour eating chips. Is that going to help me? No. uh like physically. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel like that's the big, at least for this free reading, the one thing that they want to just kind of bring to your focus. So I like that. Focus on your focus. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Benita Bala. You are up next. So, Benita, you want to know what are Sean's current feelings, thoughts for you? Okay. So, what are their current feelings and thoughts for you? He's just shy around you yesterday and just staring. All right. So, let's take a look here. So, what are his thoughts? Yeah, we got the Four of Wands here, and the Four of Wands energy is about joy and celebration and gathering, joyous gathering. And the World card is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. I'm getting this energy like there is something that they want to invite you to, a joyful gathering of some sort. And this World card is like, okay, this would be like a major change. This will either go very good or very bad in their mind. And they're like, this would, so they're trying to get up enough nerve to ask you to go to something, but they know that after they do, it's going to change everything in one direction or another. You either go, oh my God, yes. And they're like, and it's going to change things for the better in their mind. Or you're going to go like, whatever, gross, and then uncomfortability and downward spiral. So that's why I feel like they're trying to get up nerve to ask you to something. But that's why they were staring and they're just like, okay, well, I want to do this, but oh no, no, no. Kept on talking themselves out of it. Because again, they kept on seeing the worst case scenario. Like they'd get, oh, that'd be the best case scenario, but then, oh, but that'd be the worst case scenario. So I just feel like there's this um waiting to get the courage to be able to, you know, step forward and do that. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what I feel is coming through for you right now, Benita. So many blessings to you. Let me bring the rest of these down here. We're getting there, everybody. Hang in there. We're so close. All right. So, BB, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, BB, you want to know Rahul's thoughts and feelings and intentions towards you. All right. Well, here we go. Boom, boom. Two cards came out here. Well, their feelings towards you with the Magician card. I'm just kidding. That's not so bad. But the Magician card is an energy of attraction. It's kind of like with the Ace of Wands kind of energy. It's more energetic and physical attraction of feelings with a magician. I just feel like fiery energy when we're looking at that. Thoughts with the Six of Swords, they do have a change of thoughts, a change of how, because the Six of Swords, just to say, is like leaving old ways of thinking behind, moving to new ways of thinking, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. So it's a good movement. It's not a like, oh, my thoughts of you are downward spiraling. No, it's improving. Not that they were bad, but I feel like they were kind of made assumptions, and the more they're getting to know you and know more about you, the more they're like, "Oh, I threw you into this box with everyone else, but you don't belong in that box with them. You maybe in this box. No, you don't fit in that either." They're trying to figure out who you are, and try to understand more about you, because I do feel like you're different than anyone they've dated before or met before. And so they do see you differently, and they're just trying to figure it out, and that's why I feel like the intentions they don't know, besides being attracted to you both energetically and physically. I feel like this Magician card is like their intentions have changed from, "Let's just see how things go, and I don't know what I wanna do," to, "Okay, what do I wanna do? Because this is," it's like intriguing. you intrigue them, and so they're trying to figure out what approach, what do they want? So I feel like they're kind of in that transition period in their mindset because the Six of Swords is moving from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. So they're still kind of in that transitional type of energy. So no specific intentions yet, but their mindsets have been changing and there is attraction. Emotion, like feelings, no love, like, yet, but it's the attraction energy, the more the passion, that right now. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what's coming in, BB. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Alice, you are up. Let's get your timestamp here. So, Alice, you'd like an update on Shree's recent thoughts and feelings. What has he realized? All right, let's take a look here. Okay, and I do want this one. Don't want that one. I don't want this one. I want this one. All right. So, thoughts and feelings. What have they realized here? All right. Well, excuse me. We do have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture kind of energy. And the Page of Wands is attraction energy, heightened passion, heightened physical and energetic attraction. So when we're looking at like their recent thoughts and feelings, I feel like they really see you as this, um, nurturing person. They see how big your heart is. They do see this more harvesting and they see here with thoughts and feelings of like you are someone that would make a good mother and wife and um, this nurturing, a source of emotion, but there is this creation and harvest energy that they just realize. I feel like this realization is like what becoming more aware of what you say what you have to offer. It almost feels like it's like an application for a job. Well, look at your qualifications. But it kind of feels that way a little bit in a way, but with that piece, but the Page of Wands is more of a heightened attraction, a passion, kind of energy that's coming in here. So I do like that for you. I feel like they're realizing, you know, I am drawn to you and I do have this. Um, the Queen of Pentacles, she does have a second portion of cups behind the scenes. So there's all this physical attraction energy and all this physical things. There's emotion underneath the surface that I feel like that's what they're realizing is that they do care about you and there is deep care below the surface. Um, will they admit it? I don't know. I don't think they're that close to that, but at least the realization that it's there and they're like, "Whoa, what was that? Was that a heart movement?" So hopefully that helps, Alice. That's what I feel is coming through right now for you, all right? So many blessings to you. All right. And then Tim, my little gem. Hello, Tim. Let's grab your timestamp here. All right. And I saw your message about the, email. There's no owing. It's equal flow whenever, there's never any pressure, uh, we live in the moment. So, yeah, and I know your life is crazy like it is. So, no, never any pressure, my friend. All right. Whoops. Come on, behave. Stop. There we go. So the worst is over almost. The house is closed. No debt. And then the car dies 2 days later. Spirit's thoughts on finding a beater that won't break the bank? Question mark. A cheap Lincoln town car or a crew cab pickup would be best. All right, let's take a look here. So what's their thoughts on finding a beater? So a used car that just no car payment, right? And low insurance, right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, you do have here, you got the Five of Pentacles, which is the fear of lack, the fear of not having enough, um, and the Empress, which is about abundance. It is about this. And so there is this great energy of the Empress, which is, she is abundant, she is new birth. It is a very victorious card. So I do feel like you will find something. But the one thing to remember with the Five of Pentacles, it is a transformative energy, which is realizing it's not humans that bring us what we need in each moment. It is the creator, it is source. And this transformation, because, this is the fear of lack, not having enough, being left behind, abandonment, right? All that lack energy. And that's what we experience when we depend on humans to bring us what we need. Because when a human goes into fight or flight mode, right? Our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control. We will pull back and go into survival mode and pull everything back to ourselves. Like, I need all my toys. You can't play with any of them, right? That's what happens. And that's where we experience abandonment when someone else goes into fear and they pull back from us. We experience abandonment by that person or persons, right? But when we realize it's not them that bring us what we need in each moment, our sustenance, it's creator, it's source that always bring us what we need in each moment. Or we'd be dead right now. And as old as we are, right? we we can trust creator. I've never not had what I needed to live or I'd be dead right now. So well protected, well taken care of by creator. We can trust them that they're going to bring it. And I feel like this Empress energy is a divine feminine on the other side is going to guide and bring you a vehicle for you as well. So you have support on the other side coming in that's going to do that. So just be on the lookout. Follow your gut, follow your instinct with the Empress card too. She will lead you, and your gut instinct will lead you to a perfect one there. So I definitely feel like you'll have success in finding that. All right. So that's what they have for you, sir. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. And you never know, things happen on purpose for a purpose. So, that your car broke down, you never know, it might have blown up somewhere else or, something broke and you would have run into something and taken out a family or something. So we can be grateful that thank you for letting that end because now I'm going to get something else that's going to keep me safe. And I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you. And then Nea or Neha, if is the H silent? Uh, Apologies for mispronouncing your name, if I'm sure I did. And so I want to know, Shoab. I'm probably totally murdering that, but SH will come SH's feelings for you, and when will he contact you? Let's take a look here. So SH's their feelings for you, and when will they contact you? So their feelings for you, we have the Hierophant here, which is about seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. And, the Hierophant is an energy of teacher student, like spiritual leader, spiritual student kind of energy. And I don't know, let me see what this other card is here too. Yeah, the Magician. I'll show you that one here in a sec. But this feelings here for you, it's like they feel like you're both on different levels. And I feel like there is just this, I don't know. I'm trying to find a good way to explain these emotions that I'm feeling. Because I don't feel like I'm better than you kind of energy. It just feels like it'd be like a teacher student energy where it feels almost like it's inappropriate. There's something inside that just it's like they're like, I don't know if this feels right. I almost feel bad. I don't know if there's an age difference or not that it's illegal or anything like that. I just feel like they feel like situationally they kind of there's this hesitancy in allowing themselves to feel it because they feel like not it's a lot of fear about what people would think energy that's coming in with that. And, when they'll contact you with this, you got the magician card, which is about uh, energetic and physical attraction energy around it too. And so it's like, when will they contact you? It's like when they get this spark, when this attraction energy hits. It's like when we just had a full moon, when the next full moon hits, it just feels like um, when they get more energetically sparked, when they're feeling um, riled within their passions, is when they would reach out. And it's like when the energy becomes too much and then they overcome their fears. So it doesn't feel like, you know, this 15, the 1 5 here. What is that? Tomorrow's the 15th, right? Oh no, today, sorry, it just June 14th on my computer since it's out just after midnight here. So this would be Sunday. It's either the 15th of this month or 15 days with this 15 coming in here because it's really standing out to me. But I don't know. I don't know, Anea. I feel like I don't know. It feels like, yeah, even on the bottom, the temperance card. Patience, patience, patience. I just feel like this hesitant energy from them. I feel like you deserve more. And I quite honestly feel like a nudge from your spiritual posse team to tell them
No.
no. Like it's like, nah, this I feel like there's someone more in alignment that deserves you and that treats you the way that you deserve to be treated. So I just don't feel like this one's for you. But that's of course always up to you. But that's the energy that's coming in for me right now. Right? Hang in there, my dear. All right. Grab a timestamp here. And then lastly, but definitely not leastly, we've got Lynn. Hirayama, maybe a little bit close. And you wanted a general reading. So thank you so much for your patience in getting to your reading here this evening. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. All right. You do have, wow, the Empress really made her presence known today. You got the Empress and the 10 of Cups. So there is this birthing of new things coming in and a great amount of joy that's coming in. I also feel like the reverse that focusing on great amount of joy and gratitude brings in a lot of harvest too. It's a catch 22 or when we have abundance come in, the more we're grateful for and joyful around it, we get more of it too. And it just keeps growing and expanding with this Empress energy. And it is about birthing new things. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture energy, making sure to nurture yourself. And there is a message here of following your joy. What makes your heart sing? What makes it want to dance? If you have decisions to make, close your eyes and open your heart. Where's your joy leading you in this life right now? You don't have to make all the decisions for the rest of your life here, but you can decide what's next for me. Where do I want to go next? What's the next steps that I want to take? But I want to take them from my heart, not from my mind. Allow your heart to have a seat at the table, making these decisions and really focus on the joy, joy, joy energy because I feel like that is where you're going to get a lot of clarity around things, not in the mind. The mind will take you on the spin out here and, keep you in this loop of small t truths rooted in fear of supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be, fear what people will think and blah, 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 blah. But when you focus on your joy, your heart just will lead you and take you in this direction, which will be for your greatest benefit, following your heart. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you right now, my dear. So many blessings to you. And thank you guys, everybody, so much for all your love and all your support and your patience. I'll be posting here in a moment after I'm done this pinned comment listing the order in which all the readings were completed with timestamps so you can click on it and go directly to your reading. I will be back in less than 11 hours for my morning session, and then tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for my evening, and then back again on Sunday at 11. If you'd like to join me then, until then, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. Why are we being so serious? It's a playground. Go play. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.